excited to do the vault workout this week with Jeb and Carolina. I think it'll be a good time.
Rolling. Welcome back to Jeb and Flo here on
I know I'm working out with Mr. Jeb and Flo, and I just think that it might be a front. I am working out with Carolina, and what is there to not like about Carolina? She's a mom, I'm a mom, she's super chill, she's calm, good vibes. I'm very... Sometimes I will say that doing my thing is beating the boys. I try not to get too involved in that. Who has time for that? I've got this place, the Facebook group. Have you seen that thing? I mean, everyone here is doing a great job. Everyone, for sure.
Yeah, she'll win. She'll win. I don't really remember what the workout is, but I know she'll win.
She's like a silent assassin.
I've heard someone say before that I'm like a silent assassin.
Show me some. Show me. Show me some. Show me. Show me some.
Are you sure? Because I feel super big.
Welcome back to week 6 of the Street Parking Vault. The Vault is a once-a-week challenge for 25 weeks with the main goal of consistency. So remember, you can do any version of this workout, customize however you need to based on equipment or ability. The score does not matter. You just can't miss. Welcome to week 6 of the 2021 Street Parking Vault. This week we are going to be taking on PSYCHE. PSYCHE is 2 parts. First part is an 8-minute AMRAP. That is 8 minutes, as many rounds and reps as possible of 2 hang clean and jerks, 2 box jumps, 4 hang clean and jerks, 4 box jumps. So you'll keep adding 2 reps of each movement until you get to the 8-minute mark. Then you rest 4 minutes. Then you start part 2. Part 2 is the same rep scheme, the ascending ladder of hang clean and jerks and box jumps. However, this time you will perform your score from part 1, and you will do that as fast as possible. So your score for part 1 is the total number of completed rounds and reps. Your score for part 2 is time. The goal for part 1 is to finish in the rounds of 10 to 14 of both of those movements. And then of course, part 2, you want to try to finish that in 8 minutes or less. Today, you want to choose a weight that you could go unbroken on the hang clean and jerks through at least the round of 6 reps. After that, maybe you can take some quick little breaks. Of course, for the box jumps, choose a height that you feel comfortable jumping to and then stepping down, or if it's your thing, jumping down. Now, typically in these workouts where you go with an ascending rep count, it's very easy to come out real hot. In the case of this workout, since it is only 8 minutes for the first part, I think that's okay. So I think you should move at a pretty good pace from the beginning. You have a good amount of rest between part 1 and part 2. And what we don't want you to do is try to game the first part just so that you can do really good in the second part. So if you're getting under 7 minutes in part 2, we know that maybe you sandbagged it a little bit in part 1. So push the pace in part 1 and really jam on part 2.
PSYCHE is 2 rounds. Each round is a 6-minute AMRAP. That's as many rounds and reps as possible in 6 minutes of 8 hang power cleans, 8 overhead presses, and 8 dumbbell or kettlebell jump overs. After you've completed 6 minutes of those 3 movements, you're gonna rest for 2 minutes before repeating those 6 minutes over again. The score for PSYCHE is your total number of completed rounds plus any additional reps from both AMRAPs. And your goal is to hit 9 to 14 rounds. In order to hit the goal for this workout, we're shooting for 50-second to 1 and 20-second rounds. So in order to do that, you want to pick a weight on the cleans and the presses that you can do at least 4 reps with at a time. When you're doing the hang power cleans, do your best not to turn those into hammer curls where your elbows stay pinned to your sides and only your forearms move. Try jumping and shrugging with your shoulders to assist you in getting that dumbbell from your hips to your shoulders.
Okay, here we go. So, Kim is going to be doing the dumbbell version of this workout. Carolina will be doing the sandbag version with a slight customization, and I will be doing barbell. Putting 10 seconds on the clock. Here we go.
Like right now.
All right, and they're off. All right, so this workout, again, we've got 2 scores, and this workout has 2 parts. They're gonna be doing 2 hang clean and jerks, or hang clean and press, also allowed.
Okay.
And then 2 box jumps, or you can see Carolina's doing step ups back there. The next time they come back, they're gonna be doing 4 and 4. Then you're gonna do 6 and 6, 8 and 8, adding 2 reps to each movement. For 8 minutes, they're gonna get as far as they can.
Wow.
After that, they're gonna have a little 4-minute rest, which
That
is a
sounds nice.
pretty long rest. The reason for that is so that they can take whatever their score was from the first part and do it as fast as possible.
Yikes.
Now, obviously, the goal for part 2 would be to do it under 8 minutes. So you showed that you could do it in 8 minutes before. Now let's see if you can do it in 8 minutes again, or even a little bit faster. So this workout's really easy to peacock.
Yes.
Because the reps are really low at first.
Yeah.
And I would caution you not to do that because then you're just gonna have to do it all over again. And once you get into the bigger sets, it'll really start to add up.
Is there a danger of overpacing in the beginning though?
Yes, I would overpace almost a little bit, the 2, 4, and the 6, and then once you're there, start pushing it a little bit. I don't think that you should be taking breaks in between movements, but just doing the movements more smoothly. We're not huge proponents of like a rebound box jump anyway, unless, you know, you're 18 years old or something like that and you can just get away with it. I would recommend stepping down, keeping your breathing intact. I mean, you can see they're not even 2 minutes in, and I think they're already on the set of 8s.
Oh yeah. They really got to the 8s quickly. At what point would you think it's gonna start getting a little more difficult?
Nowish. I would say the 8s and then the 10s, you're like, oh man. So you would think that with these 2 movements, there's not a lot of interference because you look at the clean and jerk as almost like, I think a lot of times people look at the pressing part of it more than anything else.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of leg involvement in the power clean and in a push press or a jerk. So when you get to the box, the jump is going to be a little bit more difficult than maybe you were expecting.
Right.
And as the reps start to add up, you know, you might get through the 10s and be like, oh, I still have 4 more minutes.
Yeah.
And then you get through the 12s and you're like, oh, wait, I only have 1 minute left.
Yeah.
So we'll see how far they get. The goal for this workout, I believe, is between the 10s and the 14s. So choose a weight that's going to challenge you, but that you're not going to be already breaking a lot in like the set of 8.
Got it.
Now, I don't think that there's an easier or more difficult version of this workout, as with most street parking workouts.
Right.
I think there's pros and cons to all 3 objects that they've got. Kim's version with the dumbbells is going to get very grippy,
Right.
which we all know with the dumbbells that happens. The sandbag is just awkward, right?
Yeah.
And Caroline is doing step-ups today. She can do box jumps. She's capable of it. But we asked her to do the step-up version to just show that option.
Yeah.
And show that it's not easier. It's different. You
For
might
sure.
be able to capture, get your heart rate more under control, but it's just an option for people who are not comfortable or don't want to jump or are unable to jump.
Yeah, and speaking of sandbag workouts, Carolina actually has never done a sandbag workout before today. So she wasn't exactly excited, but
Right.
to try it, yeah.
Yikes, right before she started, she had a different load in the sandbag, and like Aki, I said to her, this isn't heavy enough, and I changed her weight. And she was like, are you sure about this? And I was like, you'll be fine.
So I bet she's really happy right now.
Yeah, so they're already past that 4-minute mark. 8 minutes, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, this is not too bad. It's only 8 minutes, so
Yeah.
we'll see how it plays out. I think Jeb is on the round of 12s right now. I mean, he's already in the goal range,
He is.
and we're just past the halfway mark, so that's great.
It's a good thing he upped the weight then. He was discussing earlier, he wasn't sure what weight to go, and then he decided to go a little bit heavier so he was closer to the goal and didn't shoot past it.
Now, that's good. Jeb is very strong, he's very fit, obviously. I think for the most part, the people on our team are good at knowing when that's appropriate and when it's not, no matter how much bullying myself or Julian do to change minds, mostly Julian. Like last week, we had 2 scores last week also, where it was your fastest and your slowest round. This week, it's your score from the AMRAP and then your time from the second part. I think anytime you have a situation like that, it's very mental.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere to hide, because if your score for this one was just your time for the second part, we would all completely sandbag the first part.
For sure.
But there's a score for the first part too, so you don't want to sandbag because you want to do as best as you can. But now you're really screwed because you have to do it again. So it's very interesting, and we've done this type of workout a few times, and it's almost like when you finish the AMRAP, you're like, oh shoot, like what have I done?
Right.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's me in every workout, but it sounds like this one especially will get the mental game going a bit.
yeah, and of course this workout is named after it's Psyche. So you know we had to go with that theme. Now Psyche, of course, married to Eros, which we did Eros last week.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, so it's it's February. It's a theme. It's love.
I get it now.
Yes. Okay. Good.
So then last week, Chris was the third wheel in this Eros situation.
now it's Kim.
Right. Tell us a little bit about Psyche.
So Psyche was married to Eros, and Aphrodite, who is Eros's mother, she didn't like Psyche, so she sent Eros to curse her or something like that, and instead he fell in love with her.
Oops.
And so whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
And so to punish her, Aphrodite made her do a series of just really
Clean and jerks.
terrible clean and jerks. And I mean, I think that's how the story goes.
Definitely.
And then sent her to the underworld.
Yes.
Which this was our interpretation of that, I guess. All right, so they've only got a little over a minute left. Carolina's working on the 14s. Knew she could do it. She was worried about it.
For anyone who's just joining us, what is the workout?
So again, the workout is first an 8-minute AMRAP where you're gonna do 2 clean and jerks, 2 box jumps, 4 clean and jerks, 4 box jumps, 6, 6, all the way. Keep adding 2 as far as you can get in 8 minutes. Rest 4 minutes, and then whatever your score was, rounds and reps, you're gonna do as fast as possible, trying to keep it under 8 minutes for that second part.
Excellent.
Now, of course, not everybody has one of these nice rep fitness, soft, can't hurt your shins if you tried plyo boxes.
Lifesaver.
We would love to see you guys jump if that's something that you're comfortable with. That might be jumping over your barbell, it might be jumping over your dumbbells, or even just a line in the ground. You might stack some plates or something like that. We didn't even have a plyo box when we started street parking. We would do the plate stack. If you're not comfortable jumping over something or on something, that's where the step up comes into play. And that could be the bottom of your stairs in your basement. It could be the step into your house from your garage. It doesn't matter. So always making it work for you. All right, we're about to hit 8 minutes.
I love the PVC pipe or the broom handle trick.
Yeah, as long as it's not gonna roll if you land on it.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
All right, so I think we should check in. Do you wanna go ask them what they got so we have the info?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go see. Write it on their whiteboards. So Nicole's gonna go check in with these guys and see what they got. They've got a 4-minute rest now. She'll write it on the whiteboard. And the fun part about this second portion
What'd you get, Jeb?
is they all had the 8
14
minute
plus
AMRAP
5.
to
14 plus
start.
5, all right.
Now they all are gonna have
Excellent,
a
can I borrow that?
slightly
Thank
different
you.
score. I think
So you
they
got
were all
14
close,
plus 5 in this first
which is
round.
great, which means they chose the appropriate
How you
version,
feeling?
They chose the appropriate weight. And now it can kind of be a fun race to see.
14
okay,
plus
Jeb
5.
got 14 plus 5. Fantastic, right in that, a little above the goal range actually.
All right, Kim, what do you have?
Overachiever.
14
As
plus
Jeb
7,
is.
uh-oh.
Ooh, Kim with the 14 plus 7. Okay. Kim with 14 plus 7.
And?
Of course, she was using the 25-pound dumbbells and 20-inch box.
14 plus 12.
Oh, 14 plus 12. So we've only got a 7-rep difference between all 3 people. So now it's gonna be
Whoa.
who's gonna finish what they completed in the 8-minute AMRAP the fastest. Of course, as always, not a competition.
Good job, guys.
But having other people to do it with you can be fun. If you don't have anyone to do it with you, feel free to play this on your iPad or your computer when you go to do it. And use, you saw, they didn't really break a whole lot
No.
in there. I would say, I don't think I saw any breaks until at least the 10s, maybe even the 12s. Where you're gonna catch your breath outside of the 4-minute rest, of course, in this one is on the box jumps.
Okay.
The box jumps are something where you can keep moving and like step down slow and then go right into the next one without ever having to like completely stop.
Oh, is that how you're supposed to do them?
Yeah, I mean, ideally. Yeah, so they did great. All 3 of them just a little bit above that goal range. So maybe my goal range was too low. Why don't you guys go ahead and shoot for the 12 to 16s while you're at it? Okay?
Oh, that's fun. I was really excited about that 10 to 14, but I guess we'll up it.
We're not always perfect on the goal range, but we nail it pretty close most of the time. And these guys are just super fit.
Dang.
They all look pretty comfortable right now.
Speaking of super fit, let's talk about who we have out here. I mean, they're all technically masters athletes.
Yeah, we were joking before we started, especially the 2 of us
Right.
joking before we started, that this is the Masters heat
Yeah.
with even Masters announcers.
Yeah. Masters
we
all
are.
around. Masters all around. At least I'm a master of something.
Yeah, so everyone in this room, other than the people filming us, are over 35.
Those youngsters.
Yeah, so we let the kids use the technologies.
Right? I've got my pen and paper over here. They're just rolling
Should
around with
my
their
glasses
fancy
so I can
stuff.
read it? No,
You
so
wrote pretty big.
I do. So looking at these guys, they've got about 30 seconds. All 3 of them look
snap.
pretty comfortable.
They
so
do.
I would like to see, I don't know if they can hear me or not because they are old, but I would like to see somebody go under 7:30. If not all 3.
Go 7 and you sandbag.
Yeah, we did say that. That's true. If you go sub 7, that means you completely sandbagged the first part and you went too easy. So that's how we'll know. If you
So
get,
if they do 701,
oh yeah, just stop on that last rep. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, so Jeb needs to complete the round of 14 plus 5. Kim needs to complete the round of 14 plus 7. And Carolina needs to complete the round of 14 plus 12.
dang.
I mean, she might be a sandbag enthusiast after this.
I mean, I think everyone should be a sandbagger. I enjoy the sandbag
I mean,
workouts.
let's be honest. It's a good thing I added weight to her bag.
That's
She
true.
would have gotten 18, rounds. It would have been
That's true.
ridiculous.
I asked her before the workout, I said, "Are you excited?" She said, and I quote, "No."
Uh-oh, Jeb's shoe came untied. Not good for your score. Not good for
Yikes.
your score. You know, we have one staff member who's in this room who I think purposely wears pants that need to be retied.
Ooh.
Constantly.
Yikes.
So that she can use that as an excuse to
That's
stop
awkward.
a workout.
I mean.
It's you.
Shoot. I'm not saying it's a purposeful thing. I just, plan ahead for those things. Like, hey, if I'm gonna tie my sweatpants today every time, I'll use that as my break. Is that against the rules?
There's no rules.
Okay, cool.
Now, you know what? Kim is not messing around. She sets her dumbbells up in a spot where she doesn't have to turn around.
No.
They're not off to the side. She literally took like 2 steps back and her feet were in between her dumbbells ready to pick them up.
Smart. She's a planner.
Just very efficient from Kim. And we know that Kim, although she's not using a sandbag, we often call her the sandbagger because she is so fit and plays it off like she's not.
I mean, that is something I don't know that everybody in street parking knew before today, but you heard it here first, guys. It's what happens.
Big deal. It's a really big deal over here. Now, you'll notice again that Jeb is doing a clean and jerk,
Yes.
where the jerk means he's pushing himself under it. It's not a push press where he's just only pressing the bar up. If you know how to do that, I would highly encourage it because it will save your press a little bit because that will start to add up. But either one is fine. There is a shift version of this workout too.
Yeah.
Now the shift version, none of them are doing it right now. It's basically the same thing, but we've broken up the hang clean and the shoulder to overhead.
Okay.
So it's 8 hang cleans, 8 shoulder to overhead, then
nice.
8 jump overs or step ups or whatever you want to do. And the reason behind that is because the clean and jerk is technical.
Yeah.
So let's let the people who are looking for a more simple version focus on the hang cleans, focus on that shoulder to overhead, use a different weight for those 2 things if you need to, and just break it up a little bit. But other than that, it's pretty much the same workout.
Yeah.
Which is great.
What do you think you're gonna use? What equipment would you prefer for this workout?
Whew. I'll probably either go dumbbell or barbell. I love a barbell. Depends on who, the space in the gym and when we're doing it and stuff like that. But I'll probably go either barbell or dumbbell. What about you?
I usually go for the sandbag. I do just love the sandbag, but I kind of think I want to roll with the barbell on this one.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a barbell and you can drop it from overhead, it's really fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. It's for the dropping.
Kim's taking a little breather, starting to add up here. I don't know. I think Kim is currently, or maybe Carolina, are in the lead as far as working their way back through on this second time. So again, the first part was an 8-minute AMRAP. 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6, 8, 8 of that hang clean and jerk or hang clean and press and box jump. After the 8-minute AMRAP, we wrote down their scores. They rested 4 minutes. And now they've got to work through whatever their score was as fast as possible. So
Yikes.
Jeb was 14 plus 5, Kim was 14 plus 7, and Carolina was 14 plus 12.
So at this point, they're probably little in their heads trying to beat those previous scores.
Yeah, so they're 4 minutes and 20 seconds into this second part with the goal of completing it under 8. I kind of challenged them because I want to see somebody complete it under 7:30. And there's a different mental component to an AMRAP versus here's how much you got to do and do it as fast as possible.
Right.
Like when you've probably felt this. Like when you're doing an AMRAP, you got to work for 8 minutes no matter what. You go super slow. 8 minutes, you're gonna be done. You fully peacock, you're still stuck for 8 minutes no matter how much work you got done and how hard you peacocked. So I think people tend to pace more in an AMRAP.
Yep.
Versus where we're like, okay, you need to get through the 14s plus 5 reps. As soon as you finish that 5th rep, you can be done and you can stop.
Yeah.
And people tend to push a little bit more, which is why we love combining both of them in the same workout with PSYCHE.
Sounds very psychological.
Exactly. Exactly. And you can see they're definitely hurting way more now than they were during the AMRAP
Right,
part.
they're turning shades of red.
Yes. Not just Kim's hair.
Not just Kim's hair.
Yes.
I asked Kim earlier today. She said she was just hoping to make it through the 10, so she's much further, and she quoted
Of course
this as
she
a
did.
peacock's nightmare.
Of course she did. You know, it's always my goal when Kim works out to see her black out at some point. Not with the dumbbells or over her head or anything like that. But Kim always looks very composed.
She does.
I would say in general, all three of these humans are composed in real life.
Composed humans, yes.
I've seen Jeb fail reps before, but
Haven't we all?
Never Kim.
Well, I didn't know. When I was talking to her about this workout, Kim was saying that she peacocks and then she's like, she just dies. And I said, I've never actually seen you just die in a workout.
I've never seen it either.
She said it's very mental for her. So in her head right now, she is wallowing around on the floor. But she's still
mom of
crushing
three
it.
boys. I mean,
Right.
you can't show no weakness.
I mean, yikes. Mom of
Nice, Jeb.
three. They are 9, 12, and
Jeb, is this the
16 years
14s?
old.
Okay.
And Kim's current goal in life is to just not let her 16-year-old beat her.
Right, she text messages me after the vault every week and lets me know I'm still victorious over my child. So that's great, and I look forward to that someday for myself. All right, so we're about to hit that 7-minute mark, and Carolina is,
Oh, snap.
she's getting through these 12, she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. She's gonna be sub 7:30, I think, and she is now a fan of the sandbag. I think she's got a few reps left. Kim's got 7 reps, and she's gonna be done. Jeb needs to finish these box jumps and then 5 more. So all of them are definitely gonna be under 8 minutes, which is exactly what we're looking for. But everyone passed the sandbagger test.
Heck yes.
Yes.
Good job, guys.
And at this point, all 3 of them are like, just get me out of
Oh.
this thing. Get me out of here.
Right?
Nice.
There it is.
7:35 for Jeb. I think Kim and Carolina were both right around that like 7:30 mark. Exactly what we wanted to see. They nailed it. They nailed the pacing of the first part. They pushed the pacing of the second part. That was awesome. It looks super fun.
Yeah, Kim looks like she's enjoying this cool down.
Can't wait for you guys to have fun with this one.
Okay. So, these 2 movements coupled together really compound. So I would say choose one that is going to be kind of your focus. For me, cycling through the barbell at a good pace is what worked for me because I'm feeling pretty good going right into the jerk from the clean. Break it up early. I went unbroken through the 8s. Once I got to the 10s, started to break it up. You might even want to consider breaking it up in the rounds of 8, so you're never really doing more than like 5 at a time. Box jumps, I would say even if you can or normally do that rebound, I would say don't do that. It's so much on the hip flexors with the clean and jerks that a jump, step down, right into the next jump allows you to keep things moving, keep a good pace going, but isn't gonna take away and wear you out for the other barbell work that you've got. So it's about finding that sweet spot, you know, between high intensity but not peacocking. It's very easy to peacock in the first couple minutes of this thing, and you'll definitely pay for it. The second time through, honestly, it's just about grit. You know you can do it. You know what you already did in the last 8 minutes. You know the work that's in front of you. So I think there's pretty much no reason why you can't finish the second part in under 8 minutes. But like Miranda says, like it says in the description, if you're doing it in under 7 minutes, you probably didn't go hard enough the first time through. So 7 to 8 minute range is what you're shooting for in that second part. So really good workout. Have fun with it.
What's up, guys? Coach Molly here with Street Parking Nutrition, and I'm super excited to let you know that we offer our small group nutrition coaching now. Now, this group is actually something that we've been doing for almost about a year now, and the feedback has been great. What this group does is we take a 6-week long progression, and we break down how to make changes to your nutrition. We start with very simple, basic things, and we build off of those, slowly getting into our street parking nutrition templates. How to weigh and measure food, how to make the template work for you, and everything in between. We have a private Facebook group for these groups that we're running, with a street parking nutrition coach running it, along with a small group participating along with you. We run lives to answer your questions, talk about upcoming changes that we do throughout the weeks, and just get a little bit more support from a coach as well as the community. Now, this group would be perfect for somebody that maybe you bought a street parking nutrition template, you looked it over, you were super overwhelmed, and you just put it to the side. Or maybe you're somebody that's been eyeing those templates, but they just look a little bit intimidating and you're not sure if you want to jump in. This group is for you. Now, if you're somebody that's pretty comfortable with weighing and measuring your food, it comes easy to you, you've been following the templates for a while, you're gonna go ahead and skip this group. One thing I wanna mention is this group is not a challenge. There's no points, there's no leaderboard. This is all about improving your life and working on your basic nutrition habits and improving things along the way. You can take it at your own pace. We're always there to help guide you and scale things as needed. Now, we're gonna have groups throughout the whole entire year that'll be running at various different times. For more information, as well as to register for our next group, head on over to members only and check out the nutrition section and read a little bit more about the small group nutrition coaching. We hope you can join us. If you have any more questions, feel free to email nutrition@streetparking.com.